Okay, we're live probably. There's a Twitch chat on the side. There's visuals. We've got eggs on the screen. It's all great.
Eggs?
Yeah,
that sounds
eggs.
exciting.
It is exciting. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome back to Totally Broken Opinions Monthly Edition. This month is March. It's the end of March. We're going into April, but hey, look, let's recap what happened in March.
Yes, honestly, this is a long month and a lot of shit happened.
This is the shittest month in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, I hated this month. This month sucked ass. No,
Not anything to do.
No, I was doing stuff, but then also multiple things broke and my life just became a hellhole for a month. But yeah, we'll get into it. Anyway, how's your month been, Dan, apart from all of life?
I mean, I don't know where to start. Honestly, at the start of the month, for some reason, I booked a trip to Cardiff just for a weekend for no reason. And then, a bit of context. It's the first time I've ever stayed in a hotel in a city.
Okay.
Actually, in the city centre. Whenever I've gone before, I've always gone down the outskirts or, travel in.
Fair.
So, my partner wanted to drive. And I was more adamant to get the train because I'd have to driving then. But, we went to this place because it had a hotel car park. But I didn't know you have to pay for parking at city hotel car parks.
Wow. There's a castle in Cardiff.
There is. Yeah, I didn't get to see it.
Well,
and it was £24 a night.
Damn.
That's a lot of money for parking.
Yeah, car parking
was like.
Yeah, you normally get free.
It was 110 quid a month, a day. It isn't cheap by itself. So I was like, surely that's got the parking.
How many days did you go? Just the weekend?
2 nights.
Okay. So about 300 quid?
Wow. When I was leaving, because I asked about the parking, they said, yeah, just pay it on the way out. I went on the way out, and the barrier was already up, and the machine was frozen, so I couldn't pay anything.
Oh. So you got out scot-free?
I thought I just drove out. And I was a bit stressed because I was like, there's probably ANPR cameras. They may send me something. So I called them up when I got home, and I was like, this parking, it wasn't working. They were like, no, don't worry, we'll sort it. And just hang up on me. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm fine then. I saved 50 quid.
And then 2 days later, you got an email going, hey, look, you owe us £400 because you haven't paid this parking ticket.
No, I never got anything. And I was also worried about bus lanes and everything as well. And I got, because...
I fucking hate bus lanes. It's the one time I've ever been ticketed. Because I came up and visited you fuckers. And I go,
that was your own fault, but...
No, it wasn't.
I went down, because I was trying to find this car park on Google Maps. And it said to go down this road, and then it told me to turn left into a building. And I was like, well, I can't turn left into a building, because that's a building. So I carried on going straight, and there's a one-way road and didn't say anything. And you got to the end of the road, and it said it was a bus lane from this point onwards, but it was a one-way street. So you couldn't turn around. And you only could go forward into the bus lane.
Right.
And there was no other option. And I was just confused. I was like, what am I meant to do? How do I avoid the bus lane? So what I tried to do, I waited back, and once it was a green light, I tried to avoid the bus lane cameras, so I actually drove on the wrong hand side of the road, and then I got away with it. I didn't get a ticket, so it's not my fault. They designed a stupid fucking system. Like, why would you do?
I think all bus lane things are stupid. Like, if there's no bus, don't block it off. It's not difficult.
But in terms of real life events, I think that's pretty much all I've done. I had a few birthdays as well. I think it was like 3 different birthdays this month, and it was Mother's Day yesterday as well. And bloody hell, that was another tiring experience.
Yeah, I did Mother's Day on Tuesday, so that was fine. Not Tuesday, Saturday. I would have been impressed if I did it on Tuesday.
I was gonna say, bloody hell, that is being events in the future.
Yeah, no, my Mother's Day.
In life?
Working mostly. I've just been doing a crap ton of overtime, and then it got cut because we were doing too much overtime, and they couldn't keep up in other departments that didn't have overtime. So poor planning, but it's all right. The thing is, we warned them about this at the beginning of the month. We were like, yeah, look, we're going to be doing this, and our time is going to cut into these people's time. And if you don't give them any more time, they're not going to be able to achieve. And that would just shut down everything that we're doing. Guess what happens? They go, no, it's fine. And then, boom. Exactly what we said happened. So, hopefully this month.
That's always how it goes, isn't it? Like,
Oh, yeah. They never listen. Yeah. Despite us knowing exactly what's going to happen, all of the line, like how it all runs, management's like, we're going to plan it like this. And we're like, okay, you can do that, but it's not going to work. And then they question why we don't manage to achieve our goals, because it's all nonsense. But yeah, so other than that, yeah, I've been working. I bought a new TV.
Another one?
Well, yeah, so my current one broke again. The third time in 9 months, which is great. So I've had to.
Expensive as well.
Yeah, that's why I've got it being fixed. But I also went, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy a new one. So, yeah. So that whole fiasco was it broke. I then had to try and get it fixed and get someone to come. But I was doing overtime, so all my work hours were longer. And because I said I was going to do overtime, they weren't going to let me leave to go home because I'd already promised that I would do stuff. So it's like, oh yeah, you can't just immediately dart out because you can't cash up the hours because no one's going to be there because you're doing it in the overtime hours anyway. So I would have to completely miss out on like some bit of pay, and it was just like, ugh. And that's if they gave me a time. And because I don't know what it is, but the repair people, every single repair person that Samsung recommends doesn't do weekends. So it's always during the day, during the week, and that's a ball ache because it means I have to go. Luckily, I work close to home, or like close to work, so it's like, yeah, okay, cool. I can sort of get back in time if they give me a brief window, but they never give you the proper window that you ask for. It's always just, they give you a 3-hour window or a 2-hour window, and then it's like, yeah, we'll turn up, and then they ring you an hour before, and you're like, fuck's sake. And then you're like, okay, we're going to be here in 10 minutes, and I'm like, it takes me 20 minutes to get home, and it's like, oh my God. So, yeah, trying to arrange them to be at a convenient time was ridiculous. It also broke the day before Daredevil started streaming. So the one, because I hadn't watched anything on TV for a while. Like the last thing I watched was like, I think, Castlevania, which was in January, and that was like the last thing I'd really watched on TV. And then it was just like, oh yeah, I'll watch Daredevil, and I'll also catch up on Invincible, because I hadn't watched that yet. And it's like, nah, TV broke. Fuck's sake. So yeah, now I've bought a new one. I'm getting the other one fixed, and then I'm going to completely rearrange my house to make it so that I have two 65-inch TVs.
You can put them next to each other so you just get like a massive cinema screen.
I was tempted, but where it is currently wouldn't work. So also they're two different. So yeah, but it's not
weatherproof one, because then you can have it outdoors.
I wouldn't do that anyway. I'd do a projector screen if I was going to do something outdoors.
Yeah, I guess true.
Also, I don't go outdoors, so
stay inside.
But yeah, no. So yeah, other than that, no, I ended up watching all of Daredevil. That was good. They didn't fuck it up, which was everyone's big worry. It's not the bad.
I didn't watch it because I've still not seen any of the first 3 seasons.
It's very loosely tied. It's more tied into the MCU stuff, but it's trying to tie into the previous Daredevil stuff. Yeah, it's weird also because they've clearly stopped it because it was meant to be 18 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Originally, so they've done 6, and then they've stopped it. So that's the first season. So they've done. Season 1 is 6 episodes, and it kind of ends on
3 seasons of 6.
Yeah, I guess. I'm guessing that's what they're going for. But what they've done is they've stopped it because Andor Season 2 comes out, I think, this month, or this coming month. So they've gone, hey, look, we're going to stop it here. You can see what Daredevil's like. There's very little... There's good action in it, but it's very limited. It's mostly the courtroom drama stuff, which I was done well. So, I don't have any complaints with that. Um, but yeah, you can because it got reshot, it got completely re-scripted and all of this stuff, and characters weren't meant to be returning. It was meant to be a complete fresh new start, completely different
Yeah.
Daredevil. It was never meant to tie into the old stuff of like the Netflix things, but then so you can clearly see the seams where Disney's gone, this is what we already had. Here's where we're going to stitch in all of the MCU stuff, and here's where we're going to stitch in all the Netflix stuff, and here's how we're going to try and tie it all together. And somehow it doesn't completely fall apart. But yeah, no, it was good.
Disney TV shows don't have the best reputation.
No. But no, it's good. I wouldn't say it's as good. I think for 6 episodes, it does well. It's like pretty good. I think overall it sets up a nice premise, but I feel like it is definitely meant to be 18 episodes all in one. So like continuous flow.
Right.
It really doesn't feel like it was meant to be that was the arc of the
Is there any
season.
announcement on when season 2 comes out?
It's meant to be this year. I think they're meant to be doing another season this year. In a couple months.
Then they definitely did.
Yeah, they definitely did just split the 18 episodes into, I guessing, 3 seasons, because I don't think they'd finished filming everything. I don't think it's all finished
It's
yet.
like the Arcane schedule of 3 releases, but
Yeah, I guess, but just over months. So like kind of what season 2 of Invincible season 2 was, where they just basically had half of it, so they released it, and then they carried on making it, and then released the other half, and everyone hated that, which is why season 3 was just straight out all at once. Or all.
I think I'm on episode 6 of Invincible right now. I haven't quite finished it.
I enjoyed it. I didn't love it.
I feel like I'm enjoying this one much more this season 2.
Well, yeah, you didn't have a massive gap in between, so it flows a bit better. My issue with season 3 is more that I just I don't know. I don't know what it is. I was just like, oh yeah, no, I'm watching these, but am I like invested? I feel like it was just the pacing was like super quick, and I don't know. Like I feel like so much happens in it.
Yeah, I don't feel entirely invested in the story for Invincible. It's not like I've got like an urge like, oh, I must go watch it. It's more of a thing of like, once I have time, I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it now.
Yeah, I don't know. I did enjoy it.
That's what I'm feeling from it anyway. It's, you know,
I think it's still good. Yeah, I don't know. I think my thing was just the pacing is just it's too quick. I think so much stuff happens and there's no time to breathe, and then another thing immediately happens and you're like, oh, okay. And then also sometimes I don't know. I think you just kind of get this weird flow of his powers very fluctuating, like a Superman thing where you're just like, oh yeah, he's invincible, and then he gets beaten to a pulp, and then he's invincible.
I mean, that's kind of his whole thing, hasn't it? He's always been called invincible, but like, every episode he gets beaten up.
Oh yeah, but you then he gets beaten up by really low level people that you wouldn't think would beat him up. So I think it's just like because he's I don't know. You're on episode 6.
Yeah, so I don't know everything that happens, but I guess an example that I could think of that annoyed me was how Kid Omni-Man at the time was able to do so much better than Invincible.
Well, that's partly because he's not got human DNA; he's got bug DNA.
Yeah, but you know, the whole Viltrumite thing is that it's an inferior species that you shouldn't breed with.
Oh yeah.
Which I guess technically means he should be weaker. Also, as a kid, he doesn't know his own powers. He's not trained.
Yeah.
And Mark's been training a lot.
But that's also because I don't know. I don't know how Viltrumites, because we don't. I'm guessing Viltrumites have a certain lifespan. Seeing as I don't know if you've had this yet, but it's
50 left.
Yeah, or like
Yeah,
47
I
or
think-
something now. So
Yeah.
I imagine it's not long lived, or like it's a certain lifespan, maybe slightly longer than a human. But the other one, the bug ones, were like really short life, but really rapid in growth. So that's why he's aged quickly enough. So maybe that's part of it, as to why
Maybe.
because he's got that bug thing, so he rapidly accelerates like his thing. But he's also got the the Viltrumite DNA, so it slows it down to a point where it rapidly increases, but doesn't affect his body and shit. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I think it was pretty good. I think the fights were good. I think I don't know how I feel about the romance. I was like, okay. They kind of tackle it in a
with
good.
even Invincible.
Yeah, I think they tackle the it's a future version pretty well. It's like, yeah, I don't give a shit if the future version of me was like a desperate person who really wants you to, like, I want you to like me for me, not because some future version told you, which was my biggest problem. It was like, yeah, like, is that because he wanted it? I also love all of the stuff with Cecil, like Mark being just antagonistic against Cecil. Cecil's backstory is great. All of that stuff I really enjoyed that. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. What else did you watch?
In terms of TV, I was watching more than Netflix new drama seasons that came out this month.
Did you watch that one that everyone's raving about? That's like 4 episodes and is about a child. Yep.
That is very good. The first episode is so captivating because the whole idea behind it is it's a one shot. Every episode's a one shot.
I have heard this.
And
I've also heard it's very depressing.
Such a clever TV show because it's clearly trying to raise awareness for the sort of teenager radicalization of incels.
Yep. Okay.
It is a growing thing and a growing concern, like in sort of.
Well, we're getting knife crime and all that shit. And
there's also talking about knife crime as well in the show, and I think, you know, the radicalization of incels, it is a thing, but it isn't talked about very much in the media.
Well, no, because it's acknowledging that children exist, and they're not about that.
Yeah, and it's also kind of showing off that parents need to do more for kids, and just keeping them in their room isn't keeping them safe. Because that's what they're showing, and I think, you know, some of the most powerful emotional beats came in the last episode when it was sort of the parents grieving and sort of being
spoilers.
You know, what's that?
Spoilers.
Well, not really spoilers. It's
grieving. That certainly sounds like something happened to someone that causes people to grieve.
It's not really spoilers, but like parents being, you know, feeling the guilt of, you know, what's happened.
Right.
And, you know, them thinking about sort of what they can do, and, you know, even though they don't lose a child themselves, it feels like a loss, and then they got to deal with it, and then the guilt, and then also, you know, the repercussions of society, of, you know, what happens to you. And honestly, it's like, you know, it's an incredible sort of nuance to the whole thing.
Do you notice the one shot, or is it one of those things that just kind of blends into the background? Because you mentioned it. Is it like 1917 or whatever it is, where like the whole premise was built on the idea? So you're like, oh yeah, I can see. I'm looking for where the cuts are.
To be fair, I couldn't notice any cuts.
If anyone walks in front of frame, that would be a cut.
Yeah, no, but the point is, it wasn't noticeable. As in, I you know, I was looking for something. Oh, and yeah, you know, it was shot well and edited well.
So is it just a continuous stream then? It doesn't have any like time jumps. Okay, so that's not.
And it is each episode a time jump.
Okay, so it's just continuously all in one place then.
Yeah, so it's all about the same story, but it's time jumps in the story, and then, you know, from the events that happen, then the next one's like next 2 days after that, then it's like 3 months, and then it's like a year.
Okay.
And that's, yeah. Honestly, I recommend it as a. It's like I said, it's not like a sci-fi sort of thing. It's very much more of a in-depth.
Imagine if at the end of it was just aliens came down. Yeah, it was all aliens. The kid was just being influenced by aliens. It was all just a big sci-fi, a Black Mirror episode twist. It was aliens.
The way I would describe it is like, it's kind of how I felt about Dune. Not that I say that it was very good, but it was like shot in a very well. Maybe it's not the best analogy, but yeah, I thought Dune shot very well.
Well done. Yeah. So this is the sci-fi Dune-verse of teenage adolescence.
Yeah. I meant more just that, you know, in general, like how it was shot is, you know, it's not like a Marvel show that is, you know, you can see it's almost like caviar, almost, you know? It may not taste the best.
I will say, Daredevil actually looks like a TV show. Doesn't look...
Oh, does it?
Yeah. They have, like...
Incredible.
yeah, they have like moments where there's news reporting, like a on the street level person who's just going around doing street interviews, and it's like in the city with just random people. Like a lot of the shots, there's speaking of Wanners, the opening fight scene is a Wanner, and it's all just
Right.
it's very Daredevil where it's just a completely brutal, just dragged out. Like everyone's getting tired, no one's like having any sort of like. It's not like a fun fight. It's literally just a dragged out fight where they're just like, yeah, we're trying to kill each other, but one of us isn't trying to kill each other, and then something happens, and they go, "Oh, okay," and then, yeah. So like, I think Daredevil does its.
Honestly, if I don't need to see the first 3 seasons, I'm happy to
I
skip
wouldn't
it.
recommend. I would. I reckon you can get in with it because it's mostly they mainly kind of they do what Marvel does very annoyingly at times, where it vaguely alludes to previous things. So it's like Echo is mentioned in this, but not by name. It's like, oh, did you? They're talking. I think it's in the trailer where they're talking at the cafe, and they're just talking across from each other, and then they're talking about like children and things, and Daredevil's like, "Oh, you had a kid at one point, right? Oh, I was kind of, sort of, vaguely aware of a child," and it's like, "Oh, that's meant to be Echo," and like how like all of that shit, and I'm like, okay, so they kind of vaguely allude to stuff that happens. Um, Certain characters from the TV show turn up, and like obviously you'll know who they are because they go, "Oh, yep, that's that person." So like, I think it helps if you've watched the previous 3 seasons plus some of the other Netflix stuff, but I don't think it's necessary viewing. It
Right.
it doesn't mention She-Hulk at all, I don't think.
That's probably
But
because they've only just been
it's
She-Hulk.
such a yeah, but the thing is it's such a shift in like between his character and She-Hulk. Like in terms of like Daredevil to She-Hulk. If you're like if I want to know where it's placed because if it's him coming from She-Hulk into this, it's so weird. But if it's the other way around and it's after this, I don't know how his character would go from that to that. So it's just like,
Or like they're just gonna say that
oh yeah,
She-Hulk
that
was
is
kind of
completely yeah, it's a different universe, which is what I
yeah.
imagine. Because I imagine what they were probably going to do is have that version of Daredevil in this, and they weren't going to have it as dark, and then they've changed it to its dark, so it just makes no sense in She-Hulk. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything
The
else
only
you
other
watched?
TV show that I watched was Toxic Town.
I don't know what that is.
It's another one on Netflix. It
You love
is a
Netflix.
story. I don't know. It's just what I watch. It's a story based on a true story.
Isn't that Doctor Who? Or was
Reese
Doctor Who?
Witherspoon, yeah, she sees it there. It's a story of a group of mums who were infected by not infected, but they basically had childbirth defects because of the council's my brain's not working with words. Sorry, the council's negligence to do with chemicals on the steelworks.
Yep.
So the chemicals got through the air, and then the mothers breathed in the air, and it caused defects. And it's all about sort of how
Like
politics
vaccines
don't care.
causing cancer.
Well, yeah, but it's more about how politics don't
And
care
how it's
about-
real.
Yeah, it's all money based. Everything. It wasn't probably as good as Adolescence, but I still enjoyed it.
Were you
still quite
expecting
captivating.
the TARDIS to turn up and take him on a whimsical adventure?
No, funny enough, I wasn't expecting that.
Have you seen the new trailer for Doctor Who, Dan?
I have.
I
A
haven't.
lot of
I,
people
I
hate
just I just am aware that it existed. So
I mean, I watched it. I mean, I'm gonna watch it anyway, and I'll let you know what it's like. I mean, I think a lot of people get too offended by Doctor Who.
well, yeah,
Like genuinely, people care so much about it.
it's like
being-
James Bond.
But it's so bizarre
Was that
because
this month?
everyone talks about saying Doctor Who's too woke or Doctor Who's too politically correct. It's always been that. That's the whole point of the show. It's always done that, but it's done that through a sort of sci-fi way. So I don't understand people saying that, really, other than society, what it's like now.
Yeah,
Yeah, so people hate on the show. I just care if it's good writing. And last season, I think it had some flaws, but I think the main biggest flaws were that the Doctor wasn't there for half the season.
Wasn't he?
Well, he was busy shooting Sex Education, so it was like there was a few episodes where he wasn't in.
Oh. Another show I haven't watched.
Yeah.
But
Of course,
yeah,
this season is in all the episodes now, so hopefully a bit better. I don't know. I
yeah,
mean,
it
it
might.
looks interesting, trailer. So.
Well, it's got
I'm
Disney
intrigued.
money, doesn't it?
It has Disney money, but it's not made by Disney.
No, but it's got Disney money it's meant to be more budgeted. So
you
they
can
can.
tell. You can definitely tell it's got way more money behind it.
Well, that's so that Disney could have it for streaming rights across other countries.
Yeah, and then
Because it's
BBC
it's still BBC, yeah. Which I still
BBC
find.
don't make it
Yeah, no,
either.
no.
It's not made by a third party.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Oh well.
And then,
But yeah, I was gonna say that it was kind of like the James Bond thing that happened, where everyone's like, "Oh, Amazon's gonna make it woke," and it's like, I don't give a shit. Amazon's just gonna
Yeah.
do what Disney did with Star Wars and just make multiple projects. Some are gonna be good, some are gonna be bad. James Bond has always been a mixed bag anyway. It's like,
I always find it so annoying when people say, something's woke, because realistically, if something's got a political agenda, there's nothing.
bad about that.
Yeah, there's nothing bad about having intentions behind it. I think the only time it's bad is when that becomes the plot.
My thing with it is I always go, if it's got a good story to tell, go for it. I think what someone basically was like, I don't like it when they recast pre-established characters like James Bond or Captain America as black alternatives or female versions or all of that. And my thing has always been, the reason why that happens is because it was never an option originally to have a black character or a woman be that role.
Yeah.
And so every time you have a black character or a woman as the main lead, it is always a conscious choice, because at the moment it still has to be a conscious choice. We haven't hit a point where racism and sexism is gone, and so we're just able to put these characters in a position where they don't have suddenly the whole world going, that's woke or that's bad. It's more that
Yeah.
we're literally at a point where you have to consciously go, okay, how do I go and make an interesting character? Right, I'll like Miles Morales, for example. No one would have ever, like, when Spider-Man first was created, would ever have gone, make it black. Like, even if you wanted to say Stan Lee was very progressive at the time and he did make a lot of characters and he did that. Early days Black Panther, very racist. Early days, like any like, you look at early day comics, they're all just like, they've got a character who's from Asia or from Africa, and they're always the stereotypical, like, full garb, like, typical, like, thing you'd think of in the stereotypical way of looking at a character, like, from that era. And then it's now, yeah, we're over that kind of. We want to get past. We want to just include people. But if people didn't fucking point it out every time, it wouldn't be an issue. It's like the Snow White thing.
Yeah.
Snow White is, because, like,
Have you seen it? The
no.
new one?
I'm never gonna
No,
watch it.
never mind. I kind of want to.
It's
it's
bombing.
actually that
It's apparently really
bad.
bad.
It's so bad. I've never seen a movie with such bad reviews.
But I also think it's also,
1.5 on IMDb.
I think it's also because people are just going, we can finally dogpile, because all of the Disney live action things have been kind of bad, but they're not terrible. They're kind of good tech demos for, like, oh, we can do realistic animals. People still go and see them because I think people still have that nostalgia. Snow White's nearly 100 years old. Like, who gives a shit? And it's like, okay, we had Snow White and the Huntsman and all of that shit and all of that. It's out of copyright. It's Disney trying to keep their version of Snow White still under their banner, basically. And I think people are just tired of the live action remakes. People are kind of excited for Lilo and Stitch. But that's because it's an early 2000s movie, so you've got that generation who was like, yeah, I remember that from my childhood. People remember Snow White, but no one, I don't think anyone, let's say in the last 20 years, has probably watched it properly. And everyone who's complaining about it probably hasn't watched it properly. Like, I don't know. I think it's just like, who cares if Snow White isn't black? It's a last name. It's not, or like not.
Going back to sort of diversity and everything like that, I saw a great quote which was, "If you think representation doesn't matter, it means that you're properly represented."
Yeah, that is
That's the exact, you know, what's
like
causing all this. And
if I were to be an American at this very point in time, I would not have a care in the world because I'm a white straight male. I'm in my 20s. I have nothing to fear. Like that is the thing. Like the amount of people who are just American citizens who aren't white, who are like people getting their citizenships taken away. They're getting shipped off.
Trump's honestly fuck. Before we go into Trump, I just want to one last thing I want to say about this representation thing, and it's something that made me smile. And it was I saw a video of a kid in a wheelchair going around a department store, and he saw a picture of like the kid's clothing with a model in a wheelchair as well, and then his eyes lit up with glee because he just saw like someone like him, and he was so happy because of it.
Well, it's the Black Panther thing, isn't it? Like thousands of hundreds and like millions of kids around the world went, "Oh shit, there's a superhero like me, like looks like me."
And it's so important to have this.
It's the same with Black Widow and like Wonder Woman and all of these things. It's like, yeah, you don't need to necessarily watch it, but don't deny it from ever being on the fucking screen. Like, it's such a weird argument to go, it's woke. Who cares? Don't watch it. Do what people are doing with Snow White. Don't watch it. Prove to Disney. Like, but then Disney will take the wrong fucking thing and go, it was woke. And that's the problem. Like, people will take the wrong thing. Like, Hollywood always takes the wrong thing from, like, a box office bomb or a billion-dollar movie. It's like, oh, yeah, it was $1 billion because we had so many cameos in it. Or it was a box office bomb because there had a woman in it. Like, no, Black Widow failed because you put it on streaming and theatrical at the same time. You also released it several years too late because
That's the biggest thing about film.
Yeah,
it's so many years earlier.
Yeah, it should have been between Infinity War or like Civil War and Infinity War or whatever. Yeah. Or Infinity War and Endgame. It should have been in between. It should have been released at the same time as Captain Marvel, but before Captain Marvel. Like, I don't know. Yeah. But that was political nonsense because the guy running Marvel who had the say at the time didn't want women and didn't want black people. So it was only until they got skirted around that person that they were able to get those movies out. The only thing DC did well was get Wonder Woman out before Marvel did. But then, anyway. Yeah. But my I've got one more thing on it. The argument that it isn't the reason why people get upset is because there's so much highlighted on it at the time. So like, let's say with Snow White, because there is so much controversy around it being a different person in Snow White's role and all of that, it then gets that air about it where everyone goes, it's gotta either be the greatest thing ever or it's the worst thing ever. There's never an in-between. And because it's in the in-between, people will never just accept it. It will either be the best, it either has to be the best because it's now got a person of color and that has to then break the barrier. Or if it doesn't, it's the worst thing ever because it's just kind of boring and like that's the problem with these things. Like with Black Panther, I don't think Black Panther is the greatest movie of all time, but to some kid it probably is. Whereas I'm like,
look at IMDb, there's always a massive weighting towards 10 or 1 star or 5 or 1 star, whatever.
Yeah.
10 or 1, yeah.
People aren't happy. Yeah.
It is true. Everyone, it's either good or bad now. There is no grey areas, black or white. That's not true. That's not actually how life is worked, but that's what people think it is.
But that's because people
Yeah.
put so much fucking pressure on these things to be the greatest. Like, that's not
Yeah.
what you want.
And
Because if you want
you can watch a film that's okay. That is okay. You're allowed to do it. It doesn't have to be the best film. Each film you watch. It doesn't have to be the worst film you watch. Won't be the worst film you watch. You know, it won't be Lethal Battle Angel.
no.
Okay, I guarantee it'll be better than that.
But again, that has a diverse cast, and it's like, okay, that's a terrible movie, but it's got a diverse cast. It's got a mainly,
good reviews for some fucking reason.
yeah. Well, look, that's because it already had a pre-existing crowd, who probably wanted more, and we might get more. I'm terrified. I'm terrified that ever gets to the announcement of a second one. I'm never gonna watch it unless I really want to know what happens when she points that sword into the sky, and it's like, ooh, I'm coming to get you, Edward Norton. Ooh, I'm gonna do so much rollerball or whatever it is. Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna never explain how this fucking thing works, so it doesn't matter in the slightest. But anyway,
Yeah. I'd summarize it as it's like, you know, it's not wokeness that kills movies. It's bad writing.
yeah. And it's also
That-
people
that-
not
that-
giving it.
that's
It's also like you like have a Marvel, and Marvel does like, oh yeah, we'll just put it out. Like they don't put any effort into it. It's like, oh yeah, Captain Marvel 2, a whole diverse cast of women, and then people go, oh yeah, it's woke, and then it just gets written off. It's not a great movie. It's fine. But it becomes the worst movie ever because people latch on to that it was women. Like, there are so many male-led movies that are shit or mediocre or middle of the road, and people don't give a fuck. But if you put a woman in it and it isn't the best movie ever, even then, if it is the best movie ever, people will drag it down to, like, it's middle of the road. It's acceptable. That's the problem that you have, is it has to be the best thing fucking ever, or otherwise it just gets dragged through the dirt. And until people just accept...
It's also driven by the radicalization of incels.
Hey, look, yeah, probably.
Andrew Tate shit.
But it is that stupid argument of the, like, men are being, like, white men are being replaced. It's like, no, you'll still get a billion bad movies with white dudes in the lead. And you'll still get a billion white comics making jokes about people. You just want a bit more diversity in your life. Like,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Anyway.
What other films have you seen this month?
I watched Mickey 17, which is
Which one's that one?
It's the one with Robert Pattinson playing 2 Robert Pattinsons, or 17 Robert Pattinsons. It's a space thing.
I wanted to watch that one. But I didn't watch it.
It's okay.
Okay.
I think my biggest issue with it is it's by the guy who did Snowpiercer and Parasite. I haven't watched Parasite, but I have watched Snowpiercer. I thought that was a good movie. But yeah, it's basically the premise is a guy signs up because of debts and things, and he's trying to get off planet. And they're all leaving the Earth because they fucked it. And so this guy signs up to be an expendable, which means that for every experiment that probably results in death, he gets put into it, and he just experiences death and then gets cloned and then put in. And then he basically has a situation where he's presumed dead, turns back up, and then, hey, look, it's another one of him. And then through various things, they do space sort of colonization, political, very, very political movie, as I think a lot of his films are. My only real issue with this movie is so much fucking narration. Like, it explains, like, every single thing. It does drag. It is. I think that's the biggest issue. I think everyone acts really well. I think it's a fun premise. I think it's not the best movie ever, but I think it does get dragged down by that narration. It does too much. It's show don't tell, but it just tells. Like every little thing gets told to you. Like, oh, there's this thingy-majiggy, and this is how it works, and I need to do, like, he talks so much, and it's a very annoying voice that he's doing. So it's like, oh yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's based on a book. I think it's Mickey 7, so they added another 10, but it doesn't really need the other 10. I feel like you could have done it with
Right.
7. So I don't know. It's got a good cast. There's some points where characters just get dropped out, and then you're like, oh, okay. So yeah, it's all good. It's okay. It's not the best. I was a little disappointed in how much I thought it was okay. I think it's a very weird film as well. So I think most people are like, oh, okay, I don't really like this because it's weird. I'm like, I like a weird movie. But yeah, Robert Pattinson's really good in it. There's not much more I can say. I think that was, yeah, just fun sci-fi. Or depressing sci-fi if you think about it as like a reality of the world.
Have you or are you going to watch Novocaine?
I do want to watch Novocaine. I don't know if I'm going to go see it, but because it's in a inconvenience thing. I actually don't know much about it. I just know it. All I know about it is currently it's Jack Quaid with no nervous system or something, and he can't feel pain. And it's one of those action things where it's just people beating on it. I haven't watched any trailers. I just know the premise. Yeah, I just know the premise, and I've seen the poster. And I like Jack Quaid, so I'm like, oh yeah, I might go watch it.
Yeah.
But
the other film we both seen is Electric State.
Do you want to know what's funny? I didn't watch it.
Did you not watch it?
No, I didn't watch it when I'd sent that. I watched it because I felt bad, so I was like, I'd heard this movie was atrocious, so I was like, because I never actually said to watch it. I just said, had you watched it? I never actually I didn't think you would watch it, and then yeah, that's why I felt bad. And I was like, oh fuck, I gotta watch it now. But yeah, I'd heard nothing but bad things about this movie. The only reason I was gonna bring it up was because it's got by the guys who did the Avengers and Civil War, and the Marvel Endgame announcement came out. So or not Endgame, Doomsday or whatever it is. So they've released a bunch of chairs, and people went absolutely, oh, why the fuck are they doing a 5-hour live stream putting chairs? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
So yeah, they I think on Saturday or Sunday they cracked out a live stream, and they put Chris Evans's directorial chair, like one of those chairs with that everyone sits on, and then it was like 10 minutes, and then they put Vanessa Kirby's chair out, and then another 10 minutes, and it was a 5.5-hour live stream of all of
What's the point?
like not even all of the cast. The only thing that I think they did to spice it up was I think Paul Rudd's chair was small.
Oh right.
But that's it. That's the only thing apparently that they did throughout that 5.5-hour live stream that was anything different. And I don't even know if that's real, because I didn't watch it. I watched the thing is immediately after they had like a minute-long thing where it was just like all the names in a row on the chairs because you didn't have to wait for it. So it was like anyone who spent 5.5 hours watching that just hoping for a big secret. Like the cast is good, but it's also fucking nostalgia heavy on like the X-Men and things like that, because they've got Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen coming back. They've got Rebecca Romijn, the guy who plays
I am surprised
Nightcrawler,
Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen,
because people know that more and it's more nostalgia.
Well, I was going to say they probably.
I don't think they should do those. I think they should do James McAvoy and Michael. I think that's a much better thing, because then you can fold them in, and then you don't have to worry about people not like.
They've got a better dynamic as well.
I just don't know why they're putting their hopes on these old people who will die.
Yeah, it's kind of
like I know we're not like hoping Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen die, but they're both fucking old, and you want to keep doing movies. Let them go. Let this be the like we were like, oh yeah, he turned up in fucking Doctor Strange, and we were like, oh yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. He dies. I'm like, good. Get rid of it. Put people's expectations of Charles Xavier being Patrick Stewart down. He's dead. He's gone. He got snapped in the head.
So many people have seen the new X-Men as well. Like so many people have seen Days of Future Past and First Class and Apocalypse.
Yeah. But I'm like
you don't need to have the original cast to do these films.
They want to, because that's what I think Marvel thinks people want. And I'm like, no. James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender. Bring them in. You don't need to bring any of the other cast. I don't give a shit. Just bring
Patrick
those
Stewart's
two.
84 years old, man.
How old's Ian McKellen? He's like older, right?
Might be. Ian McKellen is. Yeah, he's 85. He's a year older.
Yeah. And then Kelsey Grammer, who's Beast, who's coming back as well, is 70 years old.
Why?
I know they're doing CG, but like, come on. You've got Nicholas
Maybe
Hoult.
They just kill him off straight away.
I
That's
hope
what
so.
they do.
But they did that in fucking Multiverse of Madness. It was the whole point was like, oh yeah, we got Patrick Stewart back. We snap his neck by, and I'm like, yes, good. Fuck, let him die. We also had him like, how many times are we expected to see Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier die? He dies in like every X-Men movie.
That's so true.
Like, he dies in Logan. He dies in fucking Doctor Strange. He dies in X2, doesn't he? Or X3? Or he's critically...
He dies in X3.
Yeah. I'm like, he dies, I'm guessing, in Days of Future Past because...
He does not die in Days of Future Past.
I think a version of him dies because they reset that timeline, so he's dead.
I guess technically, yeah.
He dies... Oh, he's died so many fucking times. Like, can we just stop killing him and just let him die in real life peacefully? Stop dragging him back.
They should have done James McAvoy.
I'm hoping they still do, because that cast isn't final. Like, Tom Holland's not in it, but Tom Holland is also known to be in it. So it's like...
Right.
They basically went, oh, here's all these chairs of people we've probably all like actually contractually obligated to get them in, and we want to announce something. And then it's like all of these other people, we're like, oh yeah, we're saving them for a surprise. We haven't probably signed the contract yet. We're probably paying them millions and millions of pounds to return. Like Tom Holland. Tom Holland, please be in this. We need you. You're meant to lead the village. Huh?
Tom Holland wants to do it, though, doesn't he? He wants to do more Spider-Man.
I think Tom Holland wants the money, yeah. He's got to pay for his wedding with Zendaya, so...
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a big wedding. So did you actually not watch Electric State?
No, I did. I watched it out of... Because I saw your text message, like, I watched it. I was like, oh no. It would be funny not to tell him that I didn't watch it and just let him talk about it. But I'll watch it. I'll watch it so he doesn't, like, feel bad.
You caused this pain for both of us.
I didn't... Yeah, I know. I didn't expect you to watch it. You never take my recommend. It was like...
I was like, oh, I've not watched any of these. What's the easiest thing to watch? Okay, Electric State is on Netflix in a couple hours. I can watch that. I can bang it out.
Fair. I mean, I didn't put everything I watched, so I was like, good thing you didn't watch everything I put on. But no, I don't know. I think... What's your opinion on it?
It wasn't... I don't think it was
Because
bad.
from what I heard, it was the worst thing Netflix has ever created. And I know that the internet loves to do this, where they go, it's not great. I think it's mostly because of... Do you know the budget of this movie?
No.
300 million plus.
Ooh.
That's the rumored budget, so I think it's around 300 million plus. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. So I think that's why people are dogpiling on it so much, because it's pretty mediocre. It's
It wasn't that bad a film. Like, it was
No.
fine.
I don't have a... I think
Like
Millie
an
Bobby
average
Brown
size.
just needs to get the fuck away from Netflix. She needs to stop doing Netflix movies.
Like, I thought the weirdest thing about it was, what age is she meant to be in this film?
I don't know, because she's meant to be the older sister of the brother, but they look the same fucking age.
Well, she looks older still. She looks like she's an adult when the kid's a child.
Yeah.
And then-
I don't,
and
they
then,
They
you know,
changed the
she's in
hair
high
color.
school. And I'm like, why is she still in high school? Was she kept back for 5 years or something?
She's not in high school. It's the brother, right?
No.
He was...
The brother excelled, so he got to college before her.
I was not. Look, I'm gonna be totally honest. I was not paying that much attention to this movie. I had it on in the background. I was doing the fucking classic thing that Netflix wants people to do, which is not watch Netflix, but have it on in the background. Like, that is Netflix's entire fucking model, which is don't have people watch our shit. Just have it on where they explain things constantly so you can pick it up with your ear and know what's going on still. That is how Netflix makes movies.
Yeah.
and TV shows.
Honestly, I think it was horrendous.
No, I find it weird that Mr. Peanut's in it, and a major
Yeah.
part of it. The liberator of the robots is a fucking
There's
peanut man.
It's like quite like an all-star cast as well to an extent.
Yeah, the cast is massive.
Because Anthony Mackie was in it as well.
Yeah, I honestly thought he sounded like Kevin Hart.
I thought the same thing.
I was so like, is Kevin Hart in this movie?
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, it's Anthony Mackie. But yeah, there's
Well, clearly, if we just slightly change the pitch of Anthony Mackie's voice, it sounds like Kevin
Yeah.
Hart.
Woody Harrelson's apparently in this. I couldn't
He's
fucking.
Mr. Peanut.
Is he?
Yeah, he's the peanut. Yeah.
I didn't fucking know that. It didn't sound like that at all.
It did. It sounded like him. I knew it straight away.
I didn't hear. I didn't. No, I didn't hear that at all. Chris Pratt doing. I think just phoning it in.
Yeah.
he did.
also
He seemed
tired
really.
movie.
Yeah, he seemed real checked out of that. Stanley Tucci was Steve Jobs, I guess,
Yeah.
but like a worse Steve Jobs. Didn't know Billy Bob Thornton was in this. Didn't know Alan Tudyk was in this. Giancarlo Esposito. It just walking
I think
around.
money went to the cast.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I don't know how much Millie Bobby Brown made, but she probably. Brian Cox is in this. Fucking hell. Okay.
Yeah, literally. Like, there's so many.
Man. Okay.
Yeah,
I could not tell. No.
It was fine for what it was. I
Do
wouldn't
you want
watch
to?
it again. I also probably wouldn't recommend to watch it.
No, I've not. I feel bad for you having to have watched it. I was just all my plan was to mention it during the podcast and go, "Did you watch this shit movie that everyone's hating?" And then I was like, and then you fucking text me when you watched it. I was like, "Fuck! Oh god damn it! I don't want to be mean. I don't want to have made him watch this."
Oh, it's so funny.
But no, yeah, it's basically just generic sci-fi. It's based on a guy who did landscape paintings where he put robots in it, and then they made a book,
Right.
and then this is basically those. But yeah, so I don't know how much story there was in the book, but I feel like I don't know if Mr. Peanut was in those original books as well. I imagine they got that as a sponsorship to pay for this movie that cost $300 million.
Probably.
But yeah, I don't know. It's fine.
I don't know what to say about it. There's nothing really.
It's so
It's just generic. It's just a generic sci-fi film.
yeah.
Really.
It's yeah. I don't know. I can't even tell you what happened in it.
I mean,
Because
some of the robots are kind of cool designs.
yeah, the one that I think Anthony Mackie is playing is the one that gets into the other robots, and it's like he just gets
Yeah, that's, like,
progressively
cool.
bigger.
I mean, cool his death, or the mini one to pop out
The
his head. I knew
fake,
that would
for the
happen.
fake death.
Well, yeah.
I
knew that would
liked
happen.
the male one, the male bot that isn't a male.
Oh, yeah, the penny one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that was cool.
But I found her character to just be like plot forward. She's a male robot that gives the girl mail that's for her brother to
Yeah, I think a lot of the
lead you
backstory
to a
was-
location. I'm glad the kid died though. I'm glad the movie went. Yeah, no, the kid did die.
No, but there was a last little bit at the end of the film.
Is there? I checked
Yeah,
out.
The yellow robot's back alive again. He got into the
Is
robot
that an
body.
end credit? Is it an end credit?
I don't think it was an end credit. It was like the last scene in the film.
I could not fucking
You
tell
saw
you.
the robot go into the junkyard, and then you see the robot head move basically, and then it cuts to black.
Well, then he got crushed.
No, it's like the robot.
So
head,
what-
basically.
Oh, okay. Well, it'd been more funny if the kid was in the
So-
robot and then it was in a scrapyard and they got squished by the. They're like, I'm alive. Wait, hang on. Just crush it. That would have been the better end. Because then they could have killed the kid twice, and I would have been very fucking happy.
I mean,
but
I
no.
kinda cried at it, so
What? That the kid died?
yeah.
Yeah. I was like, yes, good. I love it when kids die in movies. This kid was really fucking annoying. Talking in fucking catchphrases all the time. You stupid.
Yeah, because definitely choosing to do that.
Yep. If you can, like, it's like fucking Buzz Lightyear. If you have pre-registered things, you can make a voice box change. Also, you can't fucking put a cable back into your voice box or whatever it was that she had to do. Like, how much autonomy does this kid have?
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, what?
Any other films?
I didn't watch any films. I did watch Last One Laughing or whatever it is, that thing on Amazon.
I've seen part of the first episode.
Yeah, I've watched all the up to the current one. It hasn't got the fun. I don't know why the fuck they did 4 episodes and then 2 week to week. It's weird. Yeah, it's 4 episodes all released at once, and then the next 2 episodes were released week to week. So the last one, which the 5th episode, was like last Thursday or something, and then this Thursday is the final.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but I also have now realized, because Amazon has decided to just promote every single version of it, there's a lot of fucking versions of that show. There's an Australian one, there's an Irish one, there's a Canadian one, there's a fucking Budapest one, there's like every variant you could ever. There's no American one though. That's really funny.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess because no one finds Americans funny. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine so far. My guess is Richard Iowati wins, because that man does not, like, he crack.
Doesn't laugh.
Yeah, he does crack. He has had a yellow card, but I'm hoping Lou Saunders wins, because I like her.
Oh really?
Yeah, because she's the one who has, like, out of all of them, has been the one who, like, her and Richard Iowati are the ones who have, like, purposely gone out of their way to try and make people laugh. Like, literally are just, like, zoning in on people and just
Richard
fucking.
Iowati I don't know much about Lou Sanders. I'm not seen her very much. But
I don't know. I didn't know much about her, but I was just like, she's good. I like, like, I've seen her in a few things. Yeah, I've seen her in a few things on, like, British TV, and I was just like I think the occasional time she's popped up, I'm like, oh yeah, she's good. But then this is like the first time I've ever properly, like, sat down and watched something she's been in, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I like her. She's good. Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing I watched was The Bank of Dave 2. Moving on.
What? What happened to the Bank of Dave 1?
I watched it. So it's more. The reason why I watched it was for my second ever date with my girlfriend.
You watched the Bank of Dave 1
on Netflix, and it's a true story. And so I don't think it's a bad film actually. It's not like anything revolutionary. It's just like a feel-good film.
Right.
That's like a.
Wow, the second one is the Lone Ranger, which is but it's a pun on the Lone Ranger.
Oh, both of them are based on true stories, because the actual guy made a documentary called Bank of Dave, the Lone Ranger. It's an actual documentary on Channel 4.
Mm-hmm.
So they just called the second one the Lone Ranger, and the second one's about tackling payday loans. Do you remember, like, QuickBooks and whatever they were? Not QuickBooks, but like.
Roughly.
I can't remember what they're called. There's like those payday loan companies that like thousands of interests.
Oh yeah.
So that's what it's about basically, and it was definitely Hollywoodized, because there was a mafia boss for some reason, controlling everything, and trying to get him out of a job.
Well, it's based on a true story, Dan. So.
The true story about him is him trying to tackle payday loan companies. I don't think the true story is mafia boss.
You don't know that.
I don't know that, but.
Did it have a little bit at the end that was like, oh, his life wrapped up and he's all good now and he spent 20 years in prison?
But it was fine. I watched it because, yeah, like I said, it's the first film me and my girlfriend watched, so we watched that one.
Nice.
But that's it for films and TV. You play any games? Any new games this month?
I didn't play new ones. I continued an old one that I haven't played. Oh no, there is one more thing I watched this month, and it's something that came out ages ago, but it's Marvel related. I watched season 3 of What If.
Did you?
I finally watched it, and to be honest, it's not terrible. It's probably the best season,
Really?
but it's also the last season.
Oh right.
Because the premises are actually interesting. And they're actually kind of weird ones. Like, one of them is how would the Duck and Darcy have a kid?
What the fuck?
And the whole planet and the whole world wants their kid. And it's just all of, like, it's all of the villains. Yeah, it's that's the premise of one of the episodes. And it's fucking weird. And
That's
it ends
mental.
in a fucking duck. It's just such a weird... But yeah, no, the premises are... The weakest episodes are the last two, which is where they do multiverse tie-in bullshit.
Of course.
It's mainly because they bring in characters, like they have Peggy Carter come back as the continuing anchor of these seasons, but then none of the original characters that she's hung out with are in it. It's Storm, another character, and the one from that episode where it's like a Native American person and they get this teleporting power, speed powers, or whatever it is. If you watch season 2,
No, I've not seen season 2.
yeah, well, that's a character from season 2, who, like, it's an original character, I think,
Right.
and so they bring that back over, and then it's girl power. So
okay,
I know everyone is gonna hate it because of that. But it's basically, I think those 4 or 5. I can't remember. Some of the characters, like there's one with wings and she shoots lasers out her eyes, and you're like, this is like, okay, who's this? I don't even know who this is. I know Storm, but it's Storm who's 4, so she has the hammer and everything. But you're like, you don't get any episodes leading up to that to introduce any of these characters. It's just like, now we've got them, and then they have to help break the Watcher out of being imprisoned and whatnot. So they team up with Ultron, who has the Infinity Stones and all of that shit. So,
Okay.
but yeah, no, the premise is the like 6 episodes before all of that nonsense happens are really actually quite fun episodes. There's one with the Avengers where doing Pacific Rim against Hulks, so like big Hulks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good episodes. Let me find out because I can't remember off the top of my head which ones were which. But so you continue with whatever you were gonna say before I interrupted about
I
what
was gonna say games. We're moving on to. So I started playing The Last of Us Part 2.
Nice.
So
Are you ready
and
to be
honestly,
engaged in woke nonsense?
if I'm honest, I'm at the moment enjoying it more than the first one.
Yeah, it's got a different pace to it.
Um,
How far are you in?
They've just got into the cinema
Theater.
whatever, same thing.
So you've gone through. Hang on. How many hours roughly?
Let me find out.
Okay, so whilst you're doing that, I will tell you what the episodes were. So
9
it's
hours
what
in.
it. Okay, so you're about a third of the way, I'd say. Just
Yeah.
over a third of the way, because it's about 22, 23 hours. 20 hours ish. So what it is Hulk versus the like Pacific Rim Avengers, basically. What if Agatha went to Hollywood, where Agatha basically becomes a Hollywood actress, and Kingo, and then they fight Celestials? What if Red Guardian and Bucky teamed up? That one was fun. What if Howard the Duck and Darcy had a kid? And yep, there's one set in cowboy times. With Hawkeye, female Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, and Shang-Chi. And then there's what if the emergence happened, and it's a Riri Williams Iron Heart thing, which is probably the weakest episode. Mainly because I think Riri Williams is meant to have come out by now. Ironheart was probably meant to be out before this episode was, but that's coming out this year at some point. So you're probably meant to already know who that is and all the characters' like interests and hopes and dreams and all of that shit. And then the other two are just the space bullshit multiverse nonsense. Yeah, no. I really enjoy it. I really love The Last of Us 1 and 2. They are my favorite games of all time. I hope they don't do another one. I'm really not looking forward to the TV show coming out. I have not watched anything about it. I haven't watched any of the trailers. I'm trying to avoid it. I will watch it, but I don't care.
I think my favorite part of the second game that I enjoyed the most was the open world bit they did.
Yep, that's a very good bit.
I really enjoyed that bit, and
because it's
that
very
bit
good world building through just exploring.
Yeah, and I enjoy more that it's not so dependent on collecting all the different build upgrades, weapon upgrades.
Yeah.
The first one you had to get like weapon, you had to find tools everywhere to upgrade things.
You still have to do that in the second one. It does become. It's mostly things. It's easier to find them, I think.
Yeah, the first game.
You can miss guns, by the way. I will warn you. Like I think in the first one you can miss entire weapons as well, but in this one it's much easier to miss weapons. I think they still try and guide you, and they do expect you to explore. It's been a while since I played it, because I played it when it came out in a 2-day binge session where I did 9 hours and then 11 hours, or 11.
Oh,
wow. No, I think it was 9 hours and then 13 hours. I think was my 2-day binge over a weekend where I just did nothing but did that because of how excited I was to play that game.
Yes, I've started it. I haven't played much of it the past couple of weeks. I've been quite busy with just other things.
I still need to finish the first one's remaster.
Well, yeah, because that's the first one I played. I played the remaster for that one.
Yeah, I just need to finish it because yeah.
I've also got Last of Us 2 remastered, so I got both of them remastered, which is quite nice.
I need to upgrade my Last of Us because I need to put the game in the console and then get the option to upgrade it for like $10 rather than having to buy the entire thing again.
I bought the second one, but it was quite cheap. It was like 35 quid, I think, or something.
Yeah.
On PlayStation.
It'll come to PlayStation Plus, I'm sure.
It probably will do, but
like
for
there's
the time being,
well, it's coming to it's come to PC now as well, so.
Yeah, but I think the PC port is still shit.
Yeah.
As is every PC port ever.
Yeah, because they don't give a shit. Despite PC being an ever-growing, yeah, but it's also because you have to optimize.
A PC running a PlayStation.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is.
But you just have to optimize it to every single PC, but that's an impossible task. Whereas the standardized console is easier.
You don't have to optimize it to every PC, but you have to optimize it to Windows.
Yeah.
And Windows graphics drivers, or you do, or not necessarily Windows graphics drivers, but AMD and NVIDIA graphics drivers. So it's not, loads to do, but it's a completely different system and a different architecture. So that's why it's so much harder to do.
Which is why Microsoft loves to brag about how easy it is to port their games.
But yeah, that's because
it's yeah.
Yeah.
But no one wants to play.
Game I've been playing a lot of is Split Fiction.
Oh, you actually got it. I want to play that.
Yeah, I got it on PC. If you want to play it at some point, we can do.
Because you don't need. Yeah, it's one of those ones where you don't need. Well, only one person needs to buy it.
Yeah, by the makers. It takes two.
Yeah.
Wow, I think there's a bit of not controversy, but there's a bit of debate online about which one's better.
Is it because it's women?
No.
Is it because people are upset that it's not a sad divorce story?
No. So the criticism I've seen is because It Takes Two is more geared towards casual gamers, while Split Fiction is more not to hardcore gamers, but to people who have played games before. Not like completely new.
Doesn't hold your hand as much.
No, it kind of expects you to have a bit more hand dexterity.
Nice. No, I don't want to play it. I just haven't found anyone who wants to, and I don't want to buy it.
Yeah. The other criticism was it doesn't have any mini games in Split Fiction.
But it's also much more complex because it's all different fantasy and sci-fi.
Yeah,
and
in terms of actual graphics, like Split Fiction is a beautiful game. It's stunning. It looks so nice when playing it.
Yeah, that studio does a really good job because they have that prison one as well, which is really good.
They are very good. I mean, I know it's an EA game, but it's not filled with microtransactions. It's not a live service game, which makes me happy.
Well, the guy came out and basically said, "Yeah, fuck microtransactions. Any company that does it doesn't build games around gameplay. They build it around making money." He's very outspoken, and yeah.
Yeah, it's also when they design the games, they don't use collectibles in doing to make it explore. They like to make a more make the universe feel more alive.
Mm.
So, for example, there's like random bits like the bushes. You can just start hiding to the bushes, like hiding from the people, or you can like just these little slot machines somewhere that you can do, and then you can change characters and yeah, it's like a very kind of immersive world.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, the game is a fantastic. I want to keep playing it, but
Well, it's 10 out of 10 on Steam and 5 out of 5 on Eurogamer. 95% of people like it on Google.
it's a good game. It's a really fucking good game. I think it has one of the highest Steam days.
Well, it's because the studio does good games and people want good games. So it's building an audience of going, hey, look, we're gonna just not bullshit. Whereas like Ubisoft and every other one, like Assassin's Creed Shadows and all of that. Again, we're not going to talk about the controversy of the wokeness and, but like I guarantee you, half of the reason why that game is flopping is not because of the wokeness. It's more because of the fact that Ubisoft has dragged that franchise through the dirt multiple times, and has proved that they don't give a shit about gamers. And gamers, we all know, are whiny little babies, but sometimes they have valid points.
I think at the moment, the gaming landscape is so dire in terms of just filled with microtransaction live service games.
Well,
it's so refreshing to have new games come out that aren't.
I think it was
and are still really good. And for this game, normally I try to get games on discount, but I was actually happy to pay full price for this game because I
would pay it. I just knew I didn't have anyone to play it with. So,
I want to support the studio, and that's what to play it with. So I want to support the studio, and I was happy to pay the money basically because I wanted to keep making these games.
Yeah,
and that is the way it needs to be. Really, if you actually do like the game a lot and you want to play it, then it's nothing wrong with spending full price for a game. I mean, even at full price, this game wasn't expensive.
Yeah, it's like 40 quid, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 40 quid compared to like Call of Duty or something. That's like 60. And also, it has you have a friend pass built into this. So technically, if you half it with your mate, it's like 20 quid each or whatever. Which is so much cheaper than most AAA games anyway. So, it's a reasonably priced game.
Yeah, no, I do want to play it at some point because I still haven't played the other one. The divorce one. Well, no, I have no one to play it. I have it, and I just need to find someone to play it with, because I'm so lonely. No, my friends don't really give a shit about that type of game.
Oh, I guess it's more like story-driven game, isn't it?
It's a story-driven thing, and it's like a co-op thing, and people are like, nah, there's no sense of progression because it's not like you shoot guns and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, not every game needs to just be Call of Duty where you constantly rack up a gun and get prestige. Or master.
My argument to that is like, what's the difference between like a story-driven game and a film?
They don't like films either.
Oh, there you go then.
Like these are the types of people who don't like animated things and refuse to watch them because they're for kids, and I'm like, you.
I don't watch anime not because I think it's for kids, just because I genuinely don't like the art style, and I never find them interesting. The plots.
Yeah, but anime does. Okay, I'm not getting into this argument again. Anime is a genre. It's just the name of the thing. It's not all art styles. You can have different art styles. Like there's the Studio Ghibli art style, which is incredible, and it had that AI controversy happen recently because ChatGPT has fucking ripped it off. And then you're just getting the White House posting Studio Ghibli art of deportation memes, which is just depressing.
Shall we talk about Trump for the last little bit of the podcast?
Sure. What do you want to start with?
Let's start with the leak that happened this week.
Oh, what the... Dan, do you want to share our private chat messages about our war preparation?
Yeah.
That wasn't Trump though. That was his
No, but
vice
he
president.
questions on it. Like he was grilled by
Well,
the
yeah.
journalist on it.
Well, journalists. I doubt the journalist that actually broke the story was anywhere allowed anywhere near him.
Yeah, probably not. But honestly, it's so funny.
But it's also heavily depressing.
Yeah.
It's just everyone who saw it coming knew it was gonna happen because of how incompetent the person who's in charge is. Like he's a guy who worked at Guantanamo Bay apparently, and did war crimes, or has like he's also a drunk and is also a womanizer. Like he's also like cheated on his wife multiple times. And these are the people who also go, "Oh, you should never cheat on your wife. You should never drink. You should be always praising the Lord." I hate the hypocrisy. I hate using. I have no problem with religions. I have my issues with religions, but I find the biggest problem I ever find is people use religion as a scapegoat.
Yes, that's the exact thing. Or they'd use it because they feel internal guilt, so they say everyone else has to do
Yeah,
basically fix their mistakes.
pretty much. I have yeah.
No, it's like the whole laws, everything based on religion. It's most wars fought on religion.
Yeah. Well, that's why.
Most people die because of it.
Well, that's what annoys me more about the deportation shit is because like anyone who was in a student protest who's foreign, who has a green card, who is a legal citizen technically, can just get shipped off to a foreign country, and like no one gives a shit. Like Mahmoud Khalil or whatever it is, that guy who was kind of at a student protest, who basically got a knock on the door from ICE and then got shipped off halfway across the country, and then hasn't been allowed to see his family and all of this shit. And it's like, he had a green card, he was a legal citizen, his only crime was being at a protest pro-Palestine. And it's like, and then there was another woman who just got taken on the street by people not wearing uniforms, like just casual clothes, just dragged into a van and were holding up like, I guess, police badges or whatever it was to say they're foreign, whatever they are. But like anyone could have done that. And you're just like, it encourages people who are racist to just go out and fucking abduct foreign people because there's no consequences. It's so maddening.
Yeah, it's crazy. Then the tariffs also come in 2 days' time.
Yep. Did you look at your pension and see it just go down? Because that's what I did.
I don't think my pension tied to the stock market.
Mine went down. You can see literally, March, because of tariff, and then you can see, yeah, it's slowly climbing back up because that's how the stock market is. But you can clearly see where. Also, all my other investments were just like, here's the stock market, and these are things that I have no control of. I can't take the money out. These are just passive stock market things.
Yeah.
Like If I had like actual stocks on like things, I would have pulled it out all before the tariffs were. But like I don't have anything. I always have passive ones. So they're going back up, but you can like it wiped out a severe amount of traffic. So
I mean, today I lost 1.5%.
I lost £600 in a day on my pension.
I've had that before. I have had that before.
That was across 2 pensions, so I lost 1,200 technically. And I lost like 50 quid's worth of a small amount of other savings. It's like, it's not massive amounts of money and it will come back, but it's also like, it was only ever going up. And then as soon as Trump's come into power, it's only gone down. Or been unstable or just...
Such a fucking idiot. Genuinely.
He doesn't
He's like,
care.
Yeah,
He's
should
old
be
and...
self-sustaining. And then it doesn't work because America can't be self-sustaining.
No, because you've built an entire ecosystem around being with foreign aid. I do like that he's fucking shut up about Canada now, because I think all his problem was with Justin Trudeau.
Yeah.
Because people believe that Justin Trudeau slept with his wife and daughter.
Oh, really?
Well, because I think if you ever look at pictures of Justin Trudeau and Trump and whatnot, his wife and daughter look so horny for him. Yeah. So like if you have a look at like how horny his wife looks for him, I think Trump's entire like hatred is just because of how hot Justin Trudeau is. And like how how horned up she feels for him as well. If anyone's looking at the stream, you can.
You know, there's never a good picture of Trump.
No, I mean all the AI ones that Trump posts still look like shit.
Yeah, like every single one.
Did you see his little hissy fit about the portrait that was hanging in a gallery?
No.
So basically, okay, I'll try and find it. Cause
I saw that he wants to go for a third term presidency, even though he's legally not allowed to.
That doesn't matter. They'll change the law. It's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah,
surely that's just a dictatorship if he actually stays on for a third term.
Well, yeah, that's the whole premise of Civil War. That movie is the guy. But yeah, so this is if you can see my screen. I don't know if you can see the stream and whatnot. But that's the picture that was taken down because Trump thinks he looks like shit in it. But I'm like, it looks like Trump. It makes him look normal. Like it's not that bad a painting, but he threw it been up for years as well, because it was done I think around the time of his first inauguration. So he only just decided it looks like shit, and he wants a new one. So, but yeah, that's a thing he's been focusing on. Yeah, there's so much shit that's been happening. Did you see Elon Musk is now paying people again?
Is he?
Yep. He just did. He gave out two $1 million checks to people in Colorado or something for voting. So once again, doing an illegal voter payment thing.
And he's gonna get away with it again.
Yep.
Man, the war's fucked. The war's fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There's so much shit. It's just constant fucking garbage that you have to deal with. The good news is though, I just saw this today. If you want some good news about the world, that cancelled Coyote versus Acme movie that Warner Brothers was gonna bin and never release and whatnot, they just sold it so that they can have it.
Really?
Yeah, for So here's the thing: they sold it for $50 million to Catch Up Entertainment.
Right.
Which I think is a fun name for a thing, a studio. So that is now getting potentially a worldwide release in 2026. So that movie that everyone really wanted, coming out. So that's a good thing.
Well, nice.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, I think there's a Scooby-Doo thing on Netflix. So Scooby-Doo also is getting continued. Not with Warner Brothers. I really do believe that Warner Brothers is just selling off. I think Warner Brothers wants to sell off the Looney Tunes. Like, they don't want it.
Was it Warner Brothers that was going to be sold by somebody? I can't remember.
Warner Brothers has wanted to be sold off because it's owned by, I think, Time Warner. Or no, Time Warner is Warner Brothers. I think it's owned by who owns Warner Brothers? I think it's Comcast or something. Discovery owns Warner Brothers. And so that's David Zaslav is the one who came in from Discovery and has started stripping out everything and dismantling everything and ruining everything Warner Brothers. And I think it's because they want to strip it for parts and just sell off everything and then sell it as like a conglomerate or whatever. Also, did you see that HBO's new logo looks like not HBO, Max's new logo looks like HBO's old logo?
Really?
Yeah. So
it does. So it does.
Because they've realized that they don't have that. So it's HBO, but it's Max now. Because why not just keep HBO Max or HBO as your main thing? Why give it a fucking person's name?
It's a bit weird. I mean, everyone knows it's HBO Max because it's HBO. And that's the bit that people recognize.
Yeah, that's the thing that puts the prestige of all of the good programming that you built over countless years.
It's like calling an Apple iPhone phone.
It's like changing Twitter that had massive public appeal and broad recognition to X, the everything
Isn't
app.
Twitter supposedly going to get sold again?
It's being bought by XAI, self-insider trading. It's literally him buying his own company from himself so that he can pay off the debts that he owes people or something. I don't know. I don't actually fully understand what the fuck he's doing with it, but he's selling it to his own company for, I think, more money than it's actually worth because he's buying the debt back as well. So I think he's paying $33 billion to buy his own company again.
What?
Because I think it's lost so much.
Tax on that, does he not?
I don't know. I don't know what the fucking legal terming of it is, because it's worth half its value since he bought it, because he bought it for $44 billion or something like that. It's now $22 billion, but he's got to pay off the $13 billion of debt that the companies that bought into it lost because he tanked its value so much. And then he's giving it to himself, which I don't know the legality of, because technically I don't think XA.
So get away with it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think XAI has that much money, so it's got to be his money.
Yeah.
Because XAI is 2 years old at this point, and there's no way it would have $33 billion worth of investment money. So it's got to be his own money that's paying for it, which he's probably taking from Tesla, which is also tanking massively. Did you see his fucking White House lawn garage sale?
No.
So basically, he got Donald Trump to sit and do a car commercial for Tesla
What?
on the White House lawn. Literally gave Donald Trump notes and made him read off of it. Hang on. Yeah, literally. Just them sitting in Donald Trump just doing a car commercial for Tesla because of how badly Tesla's stock is doing. And he needs someone to go, oh, you should buy Tesla. Also, anyone who now protests the Tesla protests is considered a terrorist.
Of course.
So if you're... Because... with every protest, there's some cunt who does something bad and takes it too far, and most of it's peaceful. And it's probably someone from Tesla who's inside going, yeah, we want to make this look worse than it is because it's currently only peaceful. But yeah. So
Tesla is shit.
yeah, Tesla's never... Tesla's has been good, but they've never been amazing cars.
Well, the quality assurance has always been the worst of any car manufacturer.
Well, have you seen that the Cybertruck is being recalled for the 7th time in a year?
Well, exactly. That's my point. They have no quality assurance.
Because do you know why it's being... Do you know why it's being recalled?
I know. Is it unsafe?
Well, yeah. It's because the trimming around the window is all stainless steel, right?
Yeah.
But it's not attached by anything other than glue. But people have been able to just peel it off by hand. And it's stainless steel. So if that comes off on a fucking motorway, it will slice someone's head off. Because it's just a stainless steel blade that would just cut someone's fucking vehicle apart.
How?
Because of how fast it is. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, exterior trim that can just be peeled off, basically. Um, ah, I need a picture. Images. Yeah, so like this bit here can just be peeled off by hand because they just glued it. Yeah, so like that. If people can see on the video, just like straight up, just peels. So, but it's really funny because you can see how many Teslas they've actually sold, and it's only like 46,000. Because it's a global all recall, so you can see like the number of cars that they've sold, and it's only like 47,000 Cybertrucks. It's so funny though.
Honestly, yeah.
It's such a bad car.
Who's buying it anyway? Have you seen one in the UK yet?
No, I don't think you can get them in the UK. I'm sure there is some cunt in the UK who's got one. But it's funny because they sold one to like a Russian dictator who wasn't meant to have one. So, and then he put a fucking turret on the back of it or something.
Oh, wow, I'm not surprised.
But this was before like all of the presidency bullshit and everything. It was like, yeah, you're not meant to be trading with Russia at the moment. Somehow they managed to get one. So, yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
so much bullshit.
Anywho.
That has been this month.
That's this month.
There's probably loads we missed, but honestly, it was such a shit month. Like I enjoyed what I watched mostly, but yeah, it's just I'm tired. It's
You got one day left, and tomorrow's a new month. Start all again.
Yeah.
Easter next month.
Yeah, but also, have you seen the price of Easter eggs has gone up so much?
Chocolate's really fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Chocolate's
Also, the price of eggs in America is ridiculous. So.
Well, yeah,
but Trump was meant to fix that in his first 3 months of doing it, but it's only gone up.
Eggs in America now?
They're like £7 a thing or something, like, or $7. I don't know. I don't understand America, in terms of its price. I'm like, oh yeah, eggs are quite cheap here. But the reason why America's eggs are so fucking expensive is because they're letting the bird flu run rampant. Because their Food and Health Administration. Yeah. Did you see that they're downplaying how bad measles is? Because Texas has got.
There's still a lot of anti-vaxxers there.
Well, yeah, because Texas has but the most depressing thing about it is, a child died, right?
Yeah.
Because of measles, but the parents are still blaming vaccines as the reason that their child died. So you've got like these fucking idiot parents who have got like, they've got multiple kids, but one of their kids died, and they're like, oh no, it's fine, God's plan. Literally, it's God's plan that their child died, and I fucking hate it. And now they're going on talk shows and talking about how vaccines are bad, and they're happy with their choice that their child died because they didn't do anything. Yeah, it's the most fucked shit ever. And
honestly, America's so fucked.
So
fucked. Yeah,
but they've got the dumbest person in the country who run their Food and Health Administration because he's an anti-vax.
The long-term average of American eggs is £6.17 equivalent, and for UK it's £1.54.
Yeah.
Mental. Apparently, the US are now trying to buy the UK eggs or something.
Yeah, they're trying to buy every other country's eggs. It was really funny because they seized more Canadian eggs than they did drugs at the border. Because you're not allowed to do. Apparently, you're not allowed to do. I think food border things. So it's illegal to cross borders with food or something. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, it's like some foods that you can't cross borders. So
because poultry.
Yeah,
I
imagine. UK, EU, you can't cross over with meat or raw meat.
Unless it's been agreed, because we always get import meat.
Yeah, but it's
has to be under certain conditions, right? You have to have licenses. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to have these certified for the meat, basically saying
Yeah.
it meets the selling specifications.
Yeah. But I think it's just a
We
load of
don't have
people
that.
from America going up to Canada to try and buy eggs and then coming back and then getting stopped at the border.
I just want to buy eggs.
Yeah, I just want my eggs to be cheap because Donald Trump promised that they would be, but he's not done anything. He's just made everything more expensive, and it's really fucking stupid. But I don't understand how fucking anything works.
Apparently, 166 million chickens have been killed since the outbreak began.
Yeah, but they're not doing anything about it because
What's the plan?
survival of the fittest, I guess. Do you know what I think we should do? We should offer every American who doesn't want to live in the in America to come over to every European country, and what we'll do is we'll ship everyone who doesn't want to be in Europe over to America, and then we'll just let them have America, and we'll just never
That makes
trade.
sense.
We just won't trade. We just let them have their own isolated little fucking environment. We'll cut. We'll. Unfortunately, Canada and Mexico, you're gonna have to deal with them. But you have your Mexico wall, so you just say they can't come over. It's fine. And then we secretly gas them all, and then we give them a taste of their own Nazism mentality. And then we just slowly put everyone who wants to go back to America back into America once all the bad people are gone. Simple. And then the UK doesn't have racists. Canada doesn't have racists. Mexico doesn't have like everyone who wants to be in America, that pro white straight male mentality, no women. We'll just give all the men who want that. We'll just put them over there. And then we'll get rid of them. I think that would solve all our problems. Do a bit of mass genocide to solve all the world's problems. Look how well it worked out in 1939 to 1945.
Yeah.
And on that
Right.
note, what a way to end. I was meant to go
Yeah.
watch a movie, but it's already passed.
What film you been watching?
Death of a Unicorn?
Okay, that sounds like a fun film. You should go watch it.
No, it's Paul Rudd, what's her face from Wednesday? I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Fuck, what's her name?
Oh, I don't remember the name.
Jenna Ortega.
That's the one.
Will Poulter. He's in it. Richard E. Grant's in it. It's basically,
I've never heard of this film.
it's not a big one. It's one of those A24 films.
Right.
It looks good. It's basically they kill a unicorn and then they have a baby or something, and it looks like one. I don't know. It's one of those ones where, it looks interesting and it's such a weird premise. But from what I can just see now of the review scores, it's kind of middle of the road. So it's going to be one of those you love it or hate it movies because no subtlety in the world.
I think every film this year is going to be in the same category.
Yeah,
Let's just stay at the fucking world.
I don't know. I might watch. Well, are you gonna watch a Minecraft movie, Dan?
I might do.
I'm not. I have no interest, but I reckon that movie will still make $1 billion or close to $1 billion,
Yeah,
which
that's
is just the
probably-
depressing state of things.
I
Because
don't know why they made a Minecraft movie. It's so annoying.
well, it's
Why?
Minecraft, a movie or whatever it is, or a
There's
Minecraft
some
movie.
films that just don't need movies, and that's one of them.
Well, did you also see that the Legend of Zelda movie is releasing, I think, 2 months after Sonic the Hedgehog 4?
It's crazy. That's a 4-film franchise.
Yep.
And
I've only
supposedly
watched
they're all
2
very
of-
good.
Yeah, apparently they only get better. I can't tell you a single thing that happened in the second one. 'Cause I did what I did with the electric stick. I put it on in the background and didn't pay attention. And I did watch a Corridor Crew video on number 3 because they do some doppelganger stuff with Jim Carrey that's quite impressive. And rain textures, because there's a bit in the movie where they're in Japan Japan, I think it is, and it's that famous crossroad in Japan that is like the busiest crossroad in the world. And you can't film there for obvious reasons because of how much traffic there is. So it's just CGI recreation of that with like real people and all of that, and how technically impressive it is that for a movie that the first one everyone shat on the CGI and special effects, how they've actually got good special effects. So yeah, it's interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
you watch your film.
I don't know. I can watch it another day. It was just because it was pre-release, so.
Right.
But I need to go do other things as well, so I might not actually be able to go see it. But I will go watch it at some stage. I'll probably watch it this month, coming up. But yeah, other than that, do you have anything going on in the next month? Pre-spiel?
Easter?
Yeah.
What do
We got bank holidays. Doing it?
Yes, I do have holidays. I've got no holidays booked. I might do escape room this weekend. Oh, I'm going to
Nice.
see Rod Gilbert.
Nice. I don't know who that is.
He's the Welsh comedian. A Welsh comedian.
Rod or Rob?
Two famous ones. Rod Gilbert.
Rod.
It's quite funny. He has like the anger management diary.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I know him. I didn't know his name was Rod.
Yeah. I think it's his first live tour since he had prostate or cancer or something.
He's 56, dang.
Yeah.
I'm going to see PlayStation Musical, where they
that sounds fun.
they give you all of the classic, well, not classic, the popular PlayStation music in a live orchestra.
Probably because of Last of Us, I imagine.
Last of Us, not Gears of War, God of War. I imagine some Gran Turismo stuff. Ghost of Tsushima, I think's in it. Astro Bot, Little Big Planet, all of those things, I imagine. Anything PlayStation related, I'm sure it's in there.
Yeah.
But I will probably recognize none of it, except maybe The Last of Us. Because whilst I do like PlayStation stuff, I could not tell you a single thing about the music of any game. Yeah, other than that, I don't think I have much on. I was meant to go and watch Alan Walker this month, but I bowed out. Yeah, I was meant to. I bowed out because I couldn't be arsed. It was in London, and I think it was also like the experience I had where I went and watched Galantis live, which was an experience on itself, because it was basically I went to London and I went to a club, and then it was 4 hours until the actual DJ turned up.
Right.
Well, not 4 hours. I think it was like 3 hours. And I ended up just standing around doing nothing. I ended up talking to people, but that was about it. And then it was, the DJ plays, but I would miss my train when the DJ turned up. So I was debating whether or not I just end up turning around and going home because the last train, or I have to wait until 5 a.m. for the next train back to where I live. And it's like, oh, do I do that? And then when I was speaking to the person there at the place, they were like, oh, yeah, no, you can do this way of getting home. And it was such a fucking hassle as well, because you have to go to a bus stop, get a coach back to the airport, and then get a bus back to where. And it was like, oh my God. And I got home at 6 a.m. and I was just like, oh.
Wait for the train, right?
Yeah, but I also would have ended up getting home at like 7 a.m. and I would have had to wait in London for about 3 hours.
Right.
And I don't want to do that in London. Because certain things that London is known for, that I'm not the biggest thing of. And I'm like, I'm a straight white dude. I probably wouldn't have had any interaction with anyone. But again, I just couldn't be asked to sit around for 3 hours. My phone battery was dying anyway. The charger I brought had been used because I was in London for most of the day. And so I was just like, but then I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that again. And I think it was a similar situation to where it was in a club situation. They would turn up at a time, then it would go until 2 a.m. and then I'd have to get a train back or go and do the coach thing again. And I was just like, oh, can I be asked? Also, fuck Ticketmaster, because Ticketmaster has a time limit on how long it sells its tickets for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I didn't know. So I got my ticket. It was like, oh yeah, fuck it, I'll sell my ticket because I'm probably not going to go to this. And then it only gives you a day or something to sell your ticket. It doesn't go up until the point of the concert going or something.
Right.
So if you're ever on Ticketmaster, fuck them because and then it won't let you sell it again and rebook it, like relist it. So I just lost. Yeah, it won't let you do it. So I lost, like, if I'd known that, I would have put it closer to the date.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh yeah, I'll just sell it because it will probably last until it gets sold. I don't know why there's a fucking time limit on it. If it doesn't sell after, yeah, fuck it, I'll lose the money. But do it until the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's so stupid. But yeah, other than that, we've been going for a long time.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Ticketmaster.
Yeah. But it's just something that happened this month. That's why I've been pissed. Because it's just like, this month sucks. I keep knocking over batteries as well. I'm going to put the battery over here.
This week, beautiful weather. It'll be sunny, you know.
Yeah, we did have sun, didn't we?
Well, sun today. There's also sun every day this week, I think. At least it is for me.
Great. I look forward to being in a warehouse for several hours until the sun goes away. Because I'm doing overtime to pay off for a bunch of things that I've done. But yeah. We'll see you next month for April. Hopefully it's better. There's going to be more stuff coming out, I think. Andor Season 2 I'm looking forward to. You should watch Andor. You need to see Season 1. It's the best thing Star Wars has done.
Yeah, I probably should.
Because it's nothing like Star Wars. It's actually good TV. Because the guy who made it doesn't give a shit about Star Wars. It just wants to do good TV.
That's what you need. You need someone who just cares about doing good TV.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's not that hard to make a good TV show.
I reckon we could do it. I reckon if someone gave me a budget, I could do it. I would just embezzle it all and just make I'd just make a British TV show. Where it's like two episodes and that's a season. Yeah. Looks like shit.
Classic.
Lasts for 6 or 17 episodes, and then it's just split across 5 seasons. All of that. That's how the British do it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Best way of doing it.
Cool. This is like the 5th time we've signed off, but bye!
So goodbye.